guys. Welcome to my channel. Here I will be explaining movies and TV shows. Today I am explaining a Norwegian fantasy adventure film called Ragnarok. In the beginning, we see a flashback. A Viking king has arrived at a lake with his daughter and friends. They were here to grab something from this lake. But they see something in the lake which spooks them. Now the story starts at the present time. This guy is Sigurd. He is an archaeologist and single. His wife was an archaeologist too, who sadly died 5 years ago due to cancer. His kids are Ragnhild and Brage. Currently he was working as a researcher at the Norse Museum. He was doing research on Osberg ship. 1,000 years ago Vikings used this ship to travel across Norway. 3 years on the job, Sigurd had many artifacts. Today he was explaining all this in a fundraising meeting. The museum's donors were unhappy. For them it looked like routine work. Hence Sigurd now starts narrating his latest work, Ragnarok. He shows them some rare artifacts which he got from the tomb of Viking Queen Asa. One such artifact reads, "Man knows little," implying that Asa knew something important. Asa was the daughter of a Viking king, which we saw in the first scene. Sigurd wanted to do more research on this topic. Hearing the word Ragnarok, donors burst into laughter. As in Norway, the Ragnarok is a myth. It's like all the other end of the world type of superstitious myth. The Ragnarok legend has Odin, Thor, Loki and giants. Here Surtur will destroy the whole universe. Marvel Studios recently made a film called Thor Ragnarok on this very concept. Now the museum's boss, Henriksen, stops all research projects associated with Sigurd. As the fund money was gone, he was helpless too. For Sigurd, he offers a tour guide post in the museum. Naturally, Sigurd dislikes it. Sigurd was disappointed in himself. After a few days, Sigurd's co-worker, Alan, comes to Sigurd's house. He found a stone tablet in the Finnmark town. He was doing research there. Finally, he got an important stone. It seemed like a map created by Asa. It had an empty space in the middle for a specific artifact. Sigurd thinks that this space must be for Asa's artifact, which was now in the Norse Museum. Sigurd brings that artifact from the museum. On fixing it on a stone, it reads,
Asa, Queen of Vikings, engraved this stone in the living memory of my father. There is an island at a distance of 3 days from this stone. My dad went there to get God's power.
The island's name was written as Eye of Odin. Now Alan and Sigurd were extremely happy, as this could make them rich and famous. Sigurd's kids were demanding vacations as their summer holidays were on. Sigurd takes kids to Finnmark with him as a vacation come exploration. Here Alan introduces his local partner, Elizabeth, to everyone. He had hired a local guide too. His name was Leif. Here we see a few clips of beautiful Norway. Norway is really beautiful. Everybody must visit it at least once in your life. But this COVID pandemic has destroyed everyone's travel plan. Traveling to Europe anytime soon seems unlikely. Anyway, now everyone starts hiking from Asa's stone place. They stop at a border fence which was erected during the Soviet Union time. This whole area was now a no man's land. These guys move ahead by cutting that fence. Beyond the fence they see an abandoned Soviet army camp. It had tanks, trucks, jeep and a big underground bunker. It seemed the Red Army ran like hell from this place. Beyond these woods Sigurd finds that island. Everybody starts sailing towards it. It was surrounded by a lake which was too deep. Sigurd, Alan and Elizabeth start searching for metal artifacts with their metal detectors. They just found some ration bullets, but nothing associated with Vikings. Here too there were military tanks, vans and barracks. All were abandoned. The van was anchored in water through a rope. Here Leif and Ragnhild found some old currency notes, AK-47 and booze. Later Brage finds an underground cave. Sigurd checks it and asks everyone to descend into it. The cave was deep, it had mud all around. Alan finds a Viking helmet buried in mud. Sigurd was gleeful as it was a rare artifact. Currently in Europe, there was only one other such fully intact Viking helmet was available. He asks everyone to check this place thoroughly. Elizabeth and Ragnhild also find some objects. Brage finds an egg-shaped shell which he keeps in his bag. Leif was also searching for artifacts. He accidentally steps on one such egg-shaped shell. Some sticky liquid sticks to his boot. Sigurd was keen in donating all artifacts to the museum. It was illegal to sell artifacts on the black market. Here Leif thinks otherwise. He points a gun at Sigurd and takes all the artifacts by force. He climbs up the cave and drops the rope for everyone to die down there. He starts sailing towards the mainland. But as soon as he starts to clean his boot in the middle of the lake, we see some water bubbles all around him. Something attacks him from deep water which drowns him. In the cave, Elizabeth knew rock climbing. Now she climbs up and brings everyone to top. Later everyone decides it's best to stay here for a day to get some rest. Later they were planning to build one temporary boat to cross this lake. Alan had found a skeleton head down in the cave. Inside it had a sharp object. This skeleton head looked like a human, but it was certainly not of human origin. Aliens, perhaps. This triggers Alan and Sigurd's curiosity. They enter the cave again. Now the egg from the Bragg's bag cracks open. In the cave Sigurd finds many such skeletons. They find a Russian soldier's medal. After seeing this Sigurd says, "This place is a tomb." Asa's stone is not only a map, but also a warning. Now these two hear a growling voice coming towards them. They see a snake. It was huge. Very big and very long. In Norse myth it's called Midgard serpent or sea serpent. Now Sigurd understands everything written on that stone tablet. The missing words of the tablet were this: the Viking king came here to capture the snake. But he got killed instead. That's why Asa wrote on one of her artifacts that man knows little. Now a baby snake emerges out of that egg and starts screaming. Kids get a scare. Brage feeds him French fries. Later, Elizabeth captures it, puts it in a box. Suddenly Van starts shaking. A big snake was pulling it from underwater. All three start running, but main door gets jammed. They were stuck in the van. Brage and Ragnhild were screaming and shouting. Ellen and Sigurd escape from the cave and arrive on top. Sigurd breaks the door with a shovel and drags all three outside. The big snake pulls that van into the water. Everyone was scared like hell. They decide to run away from here immediately. Ellen brings a rescue gun from the ration tank. He finds that baby snake box. He packs it and keeps it as a secret from Sigurd. Now Elizabeth shoots that gun. The hook sticks to a tree on the other side of the island, which allows them to cross the lake. First Alan, then Brage, then Ragnhild cross the lake, but while crossing, Sigurd gets stuck. Elizabeth arrives for his rescue. Now we see a big snake sailing towards these guys in the lake. The snake suddenly jumps in the air and cuts the rope. Sigurd and Elizabeth fell into the water where Alan shoots a flare gun at the snake to ward it off. Later, Elizabeth and Sigurd somehow arrive at the shore, while the snake was following them. Meaning, this snake can survive on land also. The baby snake was also making noise in the box. Now all these guys head into that ration underground bunker which we saw initially. There Sigurd observes ventilation pipes, asks everyone to follow it, as they might open somewhere. Alan finds one such opening. His box was now with Sigurd. Alan angrily says, "This is my last artifact. This will make us rich, it's mine, it's a reward for my 3 years' work." Suddenly, the big snake attacks him from the top and kills him. Enters the bunker from top and starts searching for others. Sigurd and Elizabeth get trapped in the rubble. Now both kids start running again like hell. The snake was following them. After a few minutes, Sigurd was awakened. He now knew why that snake was after them. He bravely stands in front of that snake and hands it back his baby. The snake makes a loud growling sound and leaves. The kids hug their dad in shock and joy. Elizabeth was alive. Later these guys walk away from this island in peace. The film ends here. So, guys, this is the story of the film Ragnarok. It was based on Norse mythology. Vikings believed Odin and Thor as god. According to myth, Midgard Serpent was Loki's child. Asgardians called Earth as Midgard. Vikings believed that there was a big snake under the ocean. One day it may come out like Godzilla. Its poison will destroy the Earth. Hope you liked this video. If you want to watch similar adventure films, please write its name in the comment section. Please subscribe and like.